And so, ladies and gentlemen, in real time, are we watching the left steal the California governor and mayoral race? And they haven't even been trying to hide it? I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. As always, smash that thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know you enjoy the content. For more, subscribe to the channel. Let's start right here.
Big one in the governor's race right now.
David and Colin, we have seen so much movement in this race just within the last hour. Over 450,000 new votes coming in from across the state. Let's take a look. It has been enough to put Javier Becerra ahead of Steve Hilton, and then the Associated Press making the call that Javier Becerra will move on to the November runoff. We do not know yet who Becerra will face, but definitely a good afternoon, evening for Javier Becerra. He's now in the lead at 26.7% over 1,600,000 votes right now. And then right behind him still Steve Hilton. Not a lot separates them. Only 16,000 votes separates them. But it was enough to put Javier Becerra not just in the lead, but again, the Associated Press calling that Javier Becerra will move on to the November runoff. He will have to wait to see who he faces. David and Colleen.
Logic will tell you with only 16,000 votes between Becerra and Hilton, it seems like Hilton is very close to being called as well. Wouldn't you think that?
Yeah, we're seeing the check mark here. That's what we're going on. Check mark next to Javier Becerra. Associated Press making that decision. No check mark yet. Steve Hilton, Tom Steyer, still a ways to go. 352,000 votes is what he trails Javier Becerra.
In the race for L.A. Mayor, Spencer Pratt and Nithya Raman are battling it out for second spot to face off against incumbent Karen Bass in November. Raman gained a 1.5 percentage point between Thursday and Friday, slightly eating into Pratt's lead, but Pratt still remains in second place. A lot of people, though, now are criticizing California's vote counting process because of the delays. The state relies so much on mail-in ballots, which naturally take a longer time to count. Our Matt Finn.
And so people are watching Spencer Pratt lose his lead over Nithya Raman, and Steve Hilton, the Republican, lost his lead, falling to second place in the governor's race. Not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, AP has just called it for Javier Becerra, so he will advance in the governor's race. And this just has a lot of people asking what is going on in California. And I mean, listen, you kind of could see this coming when you look at how California allows basically anybody to cast a vote with no guardrails to fight against fraud. But before we even get into all of that, let's check out some more about what's going on in California. Take a listen.
Does anyone else smell a rat in the state of California? Because this right now just completely stinks. What did we learn this week? Well, we learned that it might be what we learn next week, or maybe the week after that, or maybe the week after that, because they are still counting the votes in California, which legally they can do for another 35 days, which doesn't seem possible, does it? Only in America. Scratch that. Only in Blue Run, California can they do this. But they warned us that this could happen on election night, didn't they?
The final piece of the puzzle that we won't know tonight, right, is the late arriving vote by mail. And we're talking about probably like a third of the vote in Los Angeles. We're probably not going to be getting until tomorrow and maybe days to come after tomorrow. The mail can still come in after Election Day.
Oh, okay. So the late arriving vote by mail, and significantly higher for Democrats. Did you hear that? Why am I not surprised that the vote arriving by mail would be significantly higher for Democrats? Translation, just give us a little bit more time and we will find the votes we need, allegedly, reportedly, of course. But I always get just a little bit uneasy whenever I hear the words surge in mail-in ballots, don't you? Like Tom Steyer at the statewide level and Nithya Raman at the mayoral level in Los Angeles, both Democrats could see this sudden surge in mail-in ballots from these typically Democrat-only areas conveniently, like definitely not Kern County, a Republican area, definitely blue areas. Again, does anyone else smell a rat here? Because what's happening in California and what might happen is just very strange. And if somehow over the next few days Tom Steyer gets the votes he needs and knocks Steve Hilton out of the general election, or Nithya Raman Noodle gets the votes that she needs and knocks Spencer Pratt out of the general election, I think people are going to start asking some questions, and I think that is fair.
And so now you have the assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California. He's speaking out and saying protecting the integrity of California's elections is a top priority for my office. California's election system has serious structural vulnerabilities. Universal vote by mail with no voter ID requirements creates conditions where fraud can go undetected and unpunished, eroding public confidence. Without commenting on any specific investigation, my office has multiple election fraud investigations underway in coordination with FBI Los Angeles. We will follow the evidence wherever it leads and prosecute any violations of federal election law to the fullest extent. Here's what the president had to say. Check it out.
They rigged the election. When I turned, the election was totally rigged. It was a rigged election, just like they're rigging the election right now, it looks like in California. Can you imagine? It's 4 days, and they still aren't even close to telling you who won. You know why? Because they're rigging the election, that's why. 4 days. You know, in Spain, they had it like, I'm not a big fan of Spain, to be honest with you. It's gone very far left. But they had an election. All the votes were in, similar size to the state of California, a little larger, actually. And every vote was in by 10 o'clock in the evening and counted. You're going to be waiting weeks to get these votes. It's corrupt. Somebody said it's incompetent. I said, no, just the opposite. It's unbelievably competent if you happen to be a Democrat politician. Because with their policies, the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And when you look at an election, not even relatively a big election, for one state, for one city, for Los Angeles, they're nowhere close to counting the votes. But you look at what's happening, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And the people that were supposed to win, bad things are happening. It's a crooked state. We have crooked third world elections in a lot of our states, and we should pass our Save America Act.
And so California's ballot harvesting system is one of the reasons people are looking at these late shifts, and they're asking a whole lot of questions, because in California, it's not just that, you know, a voter mails in their own ballot. A voter can actually authorize another person to collect their ballot and return it for them. And so the idea is someone stops by, picks up your ballot, and returns it for you. But then there's also the concern that someone could, you know, just show up. They're there to collect your ballot, but then you may also have all these extra ballots at your house with other people's names on them. And the collector says, you know, I'll take those ballots off your hand. No problem. Thanks for being such a good citizen and handing these over. And then what they do with them once they get outside, obviously, and on their own, I mean, we only can speculate, right? And that's not really a far-right conspiracy idea. When you literally have a California sheriff saying how easy it is to get a mail-in ballot mailed to basically anyone's house without authorization. Check it out.
The way the voting system is structured, we see quite a few flaws. You're able to register even if and cast a vote if you don't live in the country, as evident of his brother in Pakistan. And I think we have some evidence of 2 or 3 other people out of the country that voted. Is that correct?
Yeah, approximately 2 or 3 other people out of the country, as well as people residing outside of the district.
Okay. The online voter registration system, it seems to be an honor system. Anybody can put information in there to register to vote. All you have to do is click a box and say that you're not lying, and then you'll get an email from the Secretary of State or something in the mail saying, thank you for registering to vote. And there you are. Once you're on the voter rolls, anytime an election comes around, guess what? You get mailed a ballot, right? You get mailed something to vote. So we found that a little bit problematic.
I can't believe you're doing that.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
We're working for government.
I want to understand why these are just sitting on the street, how you took them into a taxi, and you guys could just fill out anything you want and put them in the box? Is this a normal election? This is how elections are run? This is a complete fraud.
Why don't you go and speak to the people inside? They'll be happy to take care of you. We are working here. You're not allowed to.
I'm on public property. I can film whatever I want. And you guys are walking around with ballot boxes in a taxi?
A big isn't. Okay?
Wow.
And then there's also the issue with California NGOs encouraging homeless people to use fake addresses to sign petitions and register to vote. And so take a listen. If you're wondering why the Democrats have designated the homeless and illegals as a protected class, here is why. They are voting. How many have voted for Karen Bass? Los Angeles ballot fraud exposed. The Los Angeles homeless are bribed with cash and drugs in exchange for registering to vote and sign election petitions. Caught on tape.
$2. Now we're gonna give you $2. Oh, we just need 14 signatures.
The petitioner, Brenda Brown, hands cash money to the homeless person, not only for signing the California ballot initiative, but also as payment for them to register to vote.
Now, because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too. Okay, you guys, I need to get paid.
That is a federal felony. And it didn't just happen once, it happened over and over and over again. We personally witnessed and covertly filmed this happening at least 28 times over the span of our investigation, and that is just in Los Angeles. Many of the homeless have zero understanding of what it is that they're actually signing.
But what is that petition for? You know
what the petition for? I do not know.
The petitioners instruct the homeless to enter made-up addresses like Pinocchio Lane.
What do I put as my address?
Yeah, just put up. You live on Pinocchio Lane?
Oh, you can just fake it.
Oh, good.
And all of this occurring just outside the front doors of shelters and NGOs such as Weingart Center, which have received hundreds of millions of dollars in government money. One Weingart employee tells us when and where to find the illegal cash exchanges for signatures outside, and says the cash being given out is coming from a higher source.
Do you know if they provide the money that they're handing out?
Yeah,
the company does.
When they give the money out, they got to go back and tally up if they stealing the money or not, so they got to have signatures. Most of them be right across the street under that tree. You can check with them Monday through Friday.
While another Weingart employee advises the homeless on how to practice plausible deniability and ignorance of the law.
See, they say ignorance is no excuse for the law. But sometimes I have to say I didn't know. I had no idea.
Oh, that would be what he should say.
He should say.
Yeah. The petitioners orchestrate an elaborate pyramid scheme of unregistered petition circulators.
If I were to hire you, you would be under me.
Yes.
I'm under my son, I'm under him, and you under me. So it's like a pyramid game, and really, I don't need you, you need me. I don't need you.
One of the petitioners threatens to attack one of our journalists.
Go down the street, bro, before we move you down the street. I knock you out looking right at me. Bro, why are you trying to be like that, bro? They won't knock your ass out. Bitch ass nigga, don't come over here again. I'm gonna beat your ass.
And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You got California sheriff speaking out, talking about how easy, no guardrails, no authorization, is basically anybody can register to vote. You see footage of people capturing what looks like some sketchy activity of vote collectors carrying bags, black bags of voter ballots in black bags, doing who knows what with it. And then you also see the undercover investigative element of it where these NGOs, these registration collectors, are paying homeless individuals to get them to register to vote, to get them to fraudulently register other people's names to vote and paying them for it, all which is illegal. And then you add that up and you get to an election where suddenly mail-in ballots becomes the X factor, which leads to Democrats surging back in an election that they weren't winning for in-person voting. While at the same time, Democrats are so against the Save America Act. Democrats have made it crystal clear what they are willing to do in order to regain power and then never relinquish it again. They've talked about making Puerto Rico and DC into additional states. They've mentioned the idea of getting rid of the Electoral College. They've spoke about how they can revamp the Supreme Court so that way it's more liberal. And so the idea that they would somehow not want to ever relinquish the state that offers the most electoral votes throughout this country in California and make sure they hold on to that, because they know if they ever lose California and it becomes a red state, it's over. It's over. Listen, the top 3 states with the most electoral votes are California with 54, Texas with 40, and Florida with 30. So if Democrats ever lose California, that means Republicans will be in control of the top 3 states with the most electoral votes. And that is something that Democrats want no part of ever even thinking Republicans can get close to being able to accomplish. But those are my thoughts on the update. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comments down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget you enjoyed the content. Smash that thumbs up. For more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.